Hey mathematicians, let's talk about how to write and read directions on a coordinate plane like you're reading a map. Okay, so a coordinate graph can be used like a map. You can follow directions to get from one point from another. Like I mentioned in the last video, in 6th grade we're only going to be going up and down or left and right, but in 8th grade you'll learn how to travel diagonally and how to calculate the distance for a diagonal line on a graph. So here's an example right here. You might need to tell me, how do you get from the car to the book, to the library? And you can use words like up and down, left and right, but we also commonly, when we're looking at maps, are going to use something called cardinal directions. So cardinal directions are like on a compass. They are north and south for up and down, and east and west for left and right. So you might have to do something like, here's my little yellow dot to start with. Let me move my face. Go 7 blocks north, 5 blocks west, and 2 blocks south. So you want to follow them in order. That's really important. You don't want to go 2 blocks south first. And just remember that north means up and west means right or left, and then south means down. So you'd start where you are, and I find it's actually really helpful to just like count this one out. Sometimes we have strategies like, oh, let me subtract. You could do that. You could say, okay, this is 2 as my x coordinate and -4 is my y coordinate. And so 7 blocks north, 7 plus -4, that's +3. But if you're more comfortable, and honestly, if it's only 7 blocks, I might be more comfortable, you can just count 1, oopsie, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. Yep, I did end up at +3. I'm just going to keep counting them one by one. 5 blocks west is going 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 blocks south. 1, 2. You'd put a dot at your final destination. And honestly, if you're being really good, if you're actually drawing this out, you'd probably want to erase all of your like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So let me be good and erase mine. And then usually you will have to report your final position. So make sure that you remember always, x comes first. X is the side to side. And just because you don't see the actual number doesn't mean it's not a real number on your number line. What's in between -2 and -4? -3. If it helps you to think about what's in between 2 and 4 is 3, okay, then the same is true for -2 and -4. They're just going in the opposite direction. That's going to be -3. And my y coordinate is going to be +1. And we follow directions on a map. Next, you might have to give directions. And so there's other ways to give directions. If I told you these 2 points and said, give me directions, you didn't have to say go 7 blocks north, 5 blocks west, and 2 blocks south. You could say go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks west, and then go 5 blocks north. And that might simplify your directions. So when you give directions, you can choose however simple or complex you want to make it, as long as you are really ending up in the same spot. And that's how we use coordinate planes as maps.